Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
What can 160 years of experience teach you about the future? A lot, especially when it comes to protecting what matters. At Pacific Life, we've helped people and businesses confidently embrace the future with life insurance, retirement income, and employee benefits. With strategies built on strength and trust, and a promise to be here for you today and tomorrow. Ask a financial professional how Pacific Life can help you today. Pacific Life Insurance Company, Omaha, Nebraska, and in New York. Pacific Life and Annuity, Phoenix, Arizona.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1644, October 22nd, 2025. 81 degrees, the record high. That was in 1992, and it was 20 degrees in 1936. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense.
Feel the love.
Your mayor, Joe
This is exactly why I can't quit you guys. Yeah, feel the love.
No.
This is the real life.
Just relax.
Okay. How you doing?
You know the jewels stolen from the Louvre, you know what they're estimated to be worth?
Oh, man.
230 billion.
102 million.
Wow.
Now,
I was not impressed with every piece. The emerald, the sapphires were good, but a couple of pieces looked pretty dull.
Not up to par.
Yeah.
well, there was a piece today on the Care 11 website of all places. I found it interesting because it's apropos of what happened in Paris. Do you know what the largest art heist ever was in the state of Minnesota?
I've never thought
Columbus.
And I only bring it up because it's so Minnesota. What was stolen is so
ruby,
Minnesotan. Not the slipper by that washed up mobster. That didn't do it. It wasn't the Christopher Columbus statue. That didn't get stolen. It merely was knocked over by miscreants, and now it's stored in a warehouse somewhere.
Was it something from the 30s?
No, it was in 1978.
Boy, you got me. I don't know. Something from the Capitol, I bet.
No, it was not. It was in St. Louis Park.
What?
From the Pavic.
The only thing I know in St. Louis Park is the Minneapolis Moline headquarters.
From the Elaine Gallery in St. Louis Park, more than $500,000 worth of Norman Rockwell paintings were taken.
Oh, well, that is very Minnesota.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Were they ever recovered?
Well, let's read the story.
Okay.
The family spent 20 years following leads across 4 continents. And a local author once wrote a book about the 4 men, he says, who were behind it all. The accomplishment was finding out who did it, said longtime investigative journalist Bruce Rubenstein. He wrote a book called The Rockwell Heist in 2013. It happened in 1978. The thieves broke into the gallery off Excelsior Boulevard and stole 7 Norman Rockwell paintings ahead of a planned exhibit. The Care 11 folks interviewed the owners of the gallery, Russ and Elaine Lindbergh, extensively and even followed their quest to Brazil to try to find the art. Rick Capcella. Isn't he our guy?
Yeah.
Reporter Rick Capcella was also there when some of the paintings were later returned by mail and the family opened them publicly. The Lindbergh's daughter often credited her persistence with the case. The FBI stopped its search and closed the case in 1987, but the family eventually spent thousands of dollars to get the pieces back. And so they got them
what,
back.
They had to purchase them from someone? I wonder what that means.
Rubenstein relied on his old contacts from prosecutors to informants to figure out the 4 men he says are behind the crime, naming them to now KARE 11 reporter Jennifer Hoff. He says some of them were mobsters and are likely dead. I had to find a way to corroborate it. I just couldn't put it in the book, said Rubenstein. But he says, I think these are the guys who did it. Well, you can't put that in the book.
Right, you got to be sure.
Still, no one was ever charged with the crime.
I wonder how they knew to look in Brazil.
That art gallery, by the way, is long gone, and so too are the owners. But the scandal lives on in Rubenstein's book. The last 2 paintings were eventually seized in Philadelphia from a man trying to sell them to a gallery.
Doesn't that... that's pretty tame as far as that's our biggest heist.
Well, that's why I brought it up, Matt. I just thought it was curiously Minnesota-like. A, it wasn't much money,
Right.
half a mil
Right.
compared
That's
to
nothing.
And B, it was Norman Rockwell paintings.
Right. Gotcha.
So I'm glad it all worked out. Doesn't sound like anybody got shot or anything like that.
And they moved on to North Mankato, you say?
Yeah, they got a place called Camelot.
Got it.
They're down there, and they're
Heard that's new. That's nice.
coming up. I think you'll hear Brooke talk about it. I have a voter registration story.
Oh, good.
How long is it going to take?
Not long.
You want Dan back on?
No,
I'll be right back.
But it's unique enough to mention because it's a frequent emailer, Lee, who writes, "Hail the Flashlight King."
Hail you!
That was very good.
Yeah.
My special needs daughter was in need of a state ID in order to travel on a plane with us. She is low functioning mentally, cannot speak, but walks and runs just fine. After getting the ID, we, her parents and guardians, of course, get a letter that she was on the voter rolls now with an opt-out option. I returned the letter opting out, signing as guardian. Done, right? Well, no. We get another letter stating the guardian's signature has to be in another format. Before sending the letter, I thought perhaps I just should assist her in voting. But how would she vote is my conundrum. Would she vote to satisfy me, smaller government, or for her best interests, bigger government with more services? I wish there was an option that smaller government would still have good services, but I'm a realist. Sincerely, Lee from Woodbury.
Interesting.
What does that mean? You'd have to sign it in a different format.
I don't understand.
You know what I don't like? It's a modern affectation where you sign something of delivery or we're going to email you a receipt, sign here, and you sign on a tablet screen.
Sure.
Well, B as in B. I just draw a line, and they accept it.
Like when you go to the credit union and Oleg helps you and you have to sign off for your...
No, I got to get hours when he works.
Got it.
How do you feel about e-signatures then?
Same thing. What a bunch of BS. You can't tell who signed that.
That is true. They're not legible.
What would you prefer then?
Paper and pen.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
What do you think I'd prefer?
Well, it's not very convenient for the FedEx guy to...
Joe?
You know what the mailman told me the other day? We didn't get any mail on, what day is today?
Columbus Day.
No.
Wednesday.
We didn't get any mail on Friday.
Okay.
I saw him Saturday. I said, I didn't get any mail yesterday. He said, you didn't have much.
You didn't have much.
So he kept the good stuff.
He saved it
No,
for
whatever I was
Saturday?
going to get Friday, I got Saturday anyway. I trust the USPS. I have a hat and a uniform shirt.
Is that... No.
So he's saying he held on to it and just gave it to you Saturday.
Yeah. Because he did. I guess their rounds were different Friday.
What do you have, Newman?
Oh,
No, but
that's great.
that's curious. So are they making adjustments saying, well, we can save some time here?
I hope they are, because they're tremendously in debt.
Chris, are you looking for a conspiracy in this innocent little
No,
story?
not at all. Because I've found that happening with me as well in Jordan, where it doesn't seem like I get mail every single day. That's why I was asking.
I think that the post office is coming up with ways to save money. Yeah.
Sure.
So that's fine with me.
3 days a week mail.
I don't know. I remember when you got mail twice a day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Back in
Did they-
1890.
Yeah, did they arrive on horseback?
Yeah, they were
Pony Express.
Went blasting by at top
Saddlebags.
speed, full gallop.
Yeah.
How often do we get mail in Camelot?
Daily. You ain't gonna miss
Once
that.
a month?
Don't get me going here.
Hang on.
Joe, how you doing today?
Yeah.
Well,
Wondering
Kenny,
about you.
Kenny, I'm doing well.
Good.
I really am.
Good.
I sent a letter to you 6
Yeah, I
weeks ago.
give you some advice.
the hell?
Don't bite on any hooks, my friend.
Yeah, we're paying you pretty good.
Don't bite on any hooks.
Minneapolis has a lot to worry about, including now their utility bill, which I
Yes.
find a little awkward.
It's fun, isn't it?
Well, at the urging of environmentalists and immigrant advocates, now that will come back in a moment as we parse this and find out what this is. At the urging of environmentalists, and this is from, I think this is the Sahan Journal, isn't it? Or is
Yes,
it the
sir.
Reformer?
No, I think
Sahan.
it's
Kenny
Sahan.
alerted me to this piece. At the urging of environmentalists and immigrant advocates, the Minneapolis City Council is considering an ordinance that would funnel more money to home and property owners who work towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions. A proposed ordinance to increase fees, which are franchise fees, which are a percentage of gas and electric bills that goes to the city, was introduced October 9th. The proposal would steer proceeds from those increased fees to programs that help property owners finance improvements to boost energy efficiency and decrease emissions. Well, let's try to figure this out together. Apparently, already the city gets a cut of the utility bill that you pay. I don't know why in God's name the city should, but apparently that's the way it works.
Doesn't that remind you of organized crime? Doesn't that seem kind of like something the mafia would do?
Yeah.
But they would do it better and more competently.
Yes.
The increase would raise energy costs by about $10 a year for the average household, according to council member Katie Cashman. This is her deal. That's why she's on the city council, because she's Katie. And
Solving the real problem.
She's really worried about this. Fry's 2023 Climate Equity Plan proposes allocating $10 million annually from franchise fees. Franchise fees must be what that taste is called. Franchise fees must be what the city realizes when you pay your electric bill.
Yeah.
It's untoward to use the words "a little taste."
Well,
you can't use those words in public, Joe.
Okay, the city receives franchise fees. That means they get a portion of the utility bill that you pay. So what is this proposal? To raise... What the hell does Katie want to accomplish here? She wants to raise your utility bill by about $10 a year to increase the franchise fees that the city gets, and somehow that money would go back to people who have taken precautions to more thoroughly energize their house.
I guess, yeah.
How do you gauge?
More insulation, better windows? What? I don't know.
Mayor Fry's 2023 Climate Equity Plan proposed allocating $10 million annually from franchise fees for zero interest loans and rebates aimed at lowering emissions from city buildings. But in 2024, only $8.4 million was raised from those programs, according to Minneapolis Budget Director Jane DeSenza. Well, Cashman said that's not enough money. The first week of October was 90 degrees. It served as a reminder that climate change is here. No, Katie, it didn't serve as that reminder at all. I've pointed out to you historically that 90 degrees in October is not at all unusual in Minnesota. But Katie goes on to insist, as the science predict, it's impacting our day-to-day lives. Katie, you're the reason that
we don't know that.
People have to replace you on the city council. You are a young
Fool.
Well, I'm trying to be really polite today.
All right.
You know. So here's how I'm interpreting this.
Polite Wednesday.
The more the city raises from their taste they get from you paying your electric bill, the more they presumably would have to lend you at low interest rates, in fact, zero interest loans and rebates, the more they would have in their pot to hand back to you to go buy some 3M tape and put it around your window. That's what I'm... Get it? The city is in the business of getting a portion of your utility bill.
Okay.
Those are called franchise fees. And then in 2023, they dreamed up a climate equity plan that they'll use either all of the no, I bet they don't use all of the fees. They'll allocate $10 million from that big pot of money they get.
Yeah.
They'll allocate that now to funneling back to you, the homeowner, if you apply for, I need $1,000 to do some window work or whatever. And then I'm trying to just automatically, my mind is going to, where will the fraud be in this? How can we get fraud out of this deal? So Cashman said they were giving out $8.4 million, and Katie says that's not enough. Current city franchise fees on Xcel Energy bills are 5.25%. Now, again, if I was in charge of things, I'm not charging you anything for your utility bill. I don't have any right as the city to have a piece of that. But the city dreamed up a way to get a piece of it.
And it's a fee that's never going to go away.
Utility bills are very hard on people, no matter who you are.
Yep.
They're outrageous.
And it's getting worse.
Yeah.
I'm a professional light turner offer.
Same.
Yeah.
Do you have a sensor, or is it all internal?
No,
right up
I
here?
walk around and turn off lights.
You monitor.
I do.
But the irony here is just killing me. They're raising their utility bills.
So they get more of your money to give back to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Not to give back to you, to loan back to you so you can fight the climate.
So the super
What
poor,
a bunch of BS.
the super poor that are lucky enough to own a home,
Right.
and they can't afford to put in a new furnace, even with the city's help, are now paying more because they're, oh my God, not only are they paying more because their furnace is inefficient, now they're paying more so their neighbor can get their money. Why don't I just walk across the alley and give my neighbor the money? Oh, nothing about this makes sense. I'm so glad I left. My Lord.
This comes again at the urge of environmentalists and immigrant advocates, and I would imagine they have the ear of Katie Cashman, who has an impressive, look her up, Rook, please. Katie Cashman. She has an impressive educational resume, and boy, did she turn out lightweight for having all of those. I think she went to Oxford. Everywhere she went must have been a failed academy.
Would this apply to every home? I mean, if let's say you're a renter.
I think here's how I would interpret this so far. Let me finish a little more of this.
Okay.
The proposed increase would raise franchise fees on XL bills to 5.5% for residents, 7.25% for small commercial accounts, and 7.75% for large commercial accounts. Centerpoint bills would see larger fee increases to reflect the fossil fuel emissions of gas. Residential Centerpoint fees would rise to 7% for residents and range between 8.25 and 9.5% for commercial customers. The goal is to direct an additional $5 million annually for climate spending. The money funds the city's Green Cost Share program. Government's way too big. The money funds the city's Green Cost Share program, which Minneapolis uses to reimburse home and property owners for investments that lower their carbon footprint, such as improving insulation, installing solar panels, or improving heating and cooling appliances. We need this funding to increase so we can scale up and meet the moment, Cashman said. Read them to me, Rook.
All right, here's what she's got. She has a BA in Geography from McGill University in Montreal, Canada, and MSc in Urban Planning and Management from Technical University Berlin in Germany.
All right.
Following her international studies, Katie worked at the United Nations in the Urban Legislation Unit of the Human Settlements Program.
Well, that poisoned her mind.
She helped municipalities around the world build environmental and social infrastructure to improve people's lives. She also founded and led a nonprofit that is advancing climate change education in classrooms globally, including our own Minneapolis public school systems. She recently worked as a project manager in the Minnesota Center for Environmental Advocacy, a public interest environmental law firm.
Okay, she found her niche in life, and it's the climate.
She did grow up here.
I know. And I saw her interviewed, and she essentially questioned about this. I think 5 Eyewitness News might have questioned her a couple of weeks ago, or the lead up to this. And her answer was something, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not far off. Well, just don't use as much electricity.
Yeah, turn your heat down. Yeah, I remember that.
Turn your lights off.
Are you looking at this story on a screen or in a paper?
I have a printed paper.
Scroll down in your printed paper to what happens next, big dark headline, and then explain to me what this that says. It's not making sense to me.
Well, let me do something first, and then I'll tell you about what happens next.
What happens next?
All right. Boy, this might be a really opportune time to tell you about Sioux Falls. Especially your small businesses. Well, any size business. If you're looking to move your business, expand it, start a new one, you might consider Sioux Falls, South Dakota. No personal or corporate state income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. Cost of living is low in Sioux Falls, centrally located, a willing and waiting workforce. There's now almost 300,000 people in Sioux Falls, and South Dakota remains just a real business-friendly state. Voted #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes magazine. Go to SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. That's one word, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com, and discover there's going to be no limits to what your business can achieve in Sioux Falls.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Must see. I have a must-see YouTube show that I think you'll enjoy. I know I did. When you get a chance, go to Gear and Tread on YouTube. Watch a video called Just Add Gas. A group of guys rode from Emily to Copper Harbor on their UTVs. And right out of the gate, they had issues, the kind we all have. GLer Dan sent us an email about how a little bit of seafoam and a little bit of trailside maintenance saved the day for them all. And you know what? It seems like at one point or another, we've all done trailside or roadside maintenance on our cylinders. I wish I could act all high and mighty and say I haven't been there, but boy, I feel your pain. Been there, done that. Thank goodness they had, and we have seafoam and a little ingenuity so we can keep our cylinders rolling. This trip, though, looked like a lot of fun, something a lot of us would really enjoy, kind of the summer version of a snowmobile backpack trip. This engine additive, though, from Seafoam, a wonderful product in a world of bad gas and cylinder neglect. Seafoam. And I think Jay and I are going to have Dan on, hopefully, next week to talk about that trip on Krabby Coffee Shop.
Holy mackerel. Was I ever right? The city merely takes a portion of the fees they receive from your electric bill. In 2024, the franchise fees collected by the city was more than $41 million. Oof.
Wow.
With most of the money going towards the city's general fund and public works. But only $8.4 million was dedicated to the climate projects, and that's Katie's on a campaign to get more than that.
You're right. If they could find the right mafioso, they could run that city way better.
Oh, God, yes. But according to Katie, the city needs to step up. Okay. Minneapolis updated its franchise fee agreements with XL and CenterPoint in February. Under the agreements, XL is committing to lower electricity emissions in Minneapolis 91% by 2030. CenterPoint said, 20 to 30% by 2035. But franchise fees can be amended by the city council at any time, and the utility companies have no authority over the amount. This is amazing. The city has the ability to put their hand out when you pay a fee on your utility bill, and the utility provider has no say in that.
That doesn't ring.
Let's call this true. What it is. It's just another tax. It's another tax.
Council members Jason Chavez, Oren Chowdhury, Aisha Chugtai, Emily Koski, and Elliot Payne, they're all DSA, if not in name, then in ideology, joined Cashman at a press conference announcing the ordinance. It's a proposed ordinance. I guess you could write your city council person, but I would imagine to no avail. The group expressed confidence in passing the measure, which needs a simple majority approval by the 13-member city council. Now, there is a public hearing on November 13th. The earliest the city council could vote on the measure is December 11. Now, I'm thinking, now let's see if I have this straight. As a homeowner, you could be opposed to this, but that really wouldn't have any bearing on anything. In other words, it's already been established by ordinance that the city is going to get its share of your utility bill. So if you went to publicly give testimony, what would you be arguing? I guess there are euphorians who would go and say, we want more of the franchise fee you collect to be delegated to climate projects. I guess you'll get a room full of euphorians who would say that.
Like-minded people, right?
The meetings are for the proposed increase, though, right? To testify
I think so.
on the proposed increase.
But proposed increase in what would be allocated for climate projects, not a proposed increase in the franchise fee.
Oh.
The proposed increase would, the proposed increase would raise franchise fees on Excel bills to 5.5%.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, okay. So the city already gets a piece of your action when you write your utility bill. Yep. What the city wants to do is get a bigger piece of your action.
Yep.
And from that bigger piece, it's already $44 million in 2024. Yeah. Let's say it's up to $50 million. Rather than $8.4 million for climate projects, they can fulfill Katie's lifelong dream of providing $10 million for climate projects.
I have a question. My name is Richie Rich. I live on the south side of Lake Harriet. I just tore down an old, cruddy old mansion, and I rebuilt the most energy-efficient home in the city.
Okay.
Do Richie? I still have to pay that percentage?
Yes.
Because I've done my part already.
No, in fact,
I even have solar panels up there. I have a wind deal. I have it all.
Do you get an electric bill?
Yes. Well, not
anymore. No, because of the solar panels.
No, well, then we would have to charge you because you need to be represented in the franchise fee pot of gold. So even though you've developed a completely bill-free home, we want some of your money.
I'm not on the grid, though.
No, that's okay. We'll prorate it, give you a bill because the immigrant community is particularly outspoken on this. They need more money for their windows.
No, they have you're not on the grid fee.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that falls under our special no grid fee. Yeah.
Can I move to Osakis, Minnesota?
Yeah, it's up to you, sir. Richie Rich.
I don't think that was his real name.
Wow. What a city.
See,
you know what? I keep benefiting from moving out of the city in ways that I don't even realize, Joe. I moved out because of the riots and the gunfire and the helicopters and the bombing and all of that. That's why I moved out. Well, but every day you find a new way that I benefit from not living in Minneapolis.
Well, here's what's off-putting. The city spends so much money and has become so overlaid with so many programs that they can't possibly pay their bills with the normal source of funding, which is property taxes. They can't do it because that doesn't create enough money. Thus, not only do those property taxes have to keep rising to support essentially the city government, but now we discover that the utility bill franchise fee that we receive must also be increased because we're not getting enough money. Now I suppose you could break it down and just imagine. Now, what's going to happen? For example, these communists on the city council, the DSA communists, the commies, they want the city to shovel the snow. Well, that will only be a means to create an additional fee. The fee will result in them taking in more money that's needed to shovel the sidewalk because they need the money to continue to support their own existence.
Aren't they creative, though, in calling taxes something other than taxes?
Yeah. Franchise fee.
I went to I love the Thesaurus. It's my favorite book in the whole world. And I looked up tax. Levy, tariff, duty, toll, excise, impost, contribution, assessment, tribute, tithe, charge, fee, liability, customs, dues, cess. Yeah.
These are fees.
Yeah. These are all taxes, pal. Taxes. It's not enough they get your income. They get your sales tax. They get your property tax.
And again, this once again proves to me that this climate change thing is a scam invented by the left.
Yeah.
It means there is not a single thing you can do about the climate by putting tape around your windows. Not a single thing. This comes from the false premise that someone like Katie Cashman would suffer from, that she thinks she's bigger than nature. Mm-hmm. And she's not. She's just a wisp of a gal. And it's very alarming to her, and it's very telling that we hit a few 90-degree days in October. That's happened before, Kenny. Kenny?
Hi.
Kenny,
Yeah.
Katie.
Hi. Did you know that, Ken?
Whatever the hell your name is, Katie. It's happened throughout history, and it'll happen again. And it's okay, Katie. It's okay. You'll be okay.
As Kenny was reading the synonyms for tax,
yeah,
I accidentally heard him say compost instead of impost, and I thought,
Same thing.
How fitting would that be?
Yeah.
You said impost, but I mistakenly heard compost. I thought, God, how fitting is that?
You just said impost.
Huh?
That is what an impost is, a synonym for tax. But I heard compost.
Oh, impost as in imposition.
Correct.
Yeah. That's a tax, is an imposition. Well, we can move on. It's a fun time. And
many Minnesotans are.
Katie probably has a collection of golden books. And
golden books.
Christmas is supposed to be just perfect with little large snowflakes and some sort of sustainable lighting outside. I don't know. And spring should be cherry blossoms should be blooming and smelling perfect. And summer are 3 days at the beach.
And you track your lilacs.
Yeah, track your lilacs. And then fall, you get to go and look at leaves, change colors, and everything's going to be just perfect. If we could only have more of your money, we can make it. We can make it perfect.
I wonder if they could figure out if they could charge a fee every time you flush your toilet. Do you think they could put a monitor on your toy?
I guarantee you that's already built into some fee. I guarantee
the compost fee.
All of that impressive educational resume from Katie reflected engagements in which she was involved, none of which could be measured for any achievement or success.
Right.
None of which.
They always
wait
set
a
it up
minute.
like that.
What am I saying? You already get a water bill. You have a water meter, right?
It's built in.
So
there.
they are charging you for every time you every time you go.
That's right.
That's why I used to go in my neighbor's backyard.
Well,
get yourself an outhouse.
He thought something was wrong with his dog.
Isn't that the famous George Clooney prank?
Yeah. Kitty litter box.
That's pretty funny.
The Center of the American Experiment has the Golden Turkey Awards underway. That's the biggest and most ridiculous waste of money by state government. And boy, do you have your work cut out for you this year to come up with Minnesota's worst waste of money. And if you come up with the best one, you're going to win the Golden Turkey Award from the American Experiment. If you have examples of ridiculous spending in Minnesota government, go to americanexperiment.org/golden turkey. Enter the contest. The Center of the American Experiment will be naming the finalists on November 1st. Voting will take place throughout November, and the winner of the 2025 Golden Turkey Award with fanfare will be announced right here on Garage Logic. Go to americanexperiment.org and nominate your choice today for the 2025 Golden Turkey Award. Doing something.
Reavers is.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Let's talk about We Are Nuts and WeAreNutsMN.com, a wonderful family-owned operation right here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's right, locally owned and
Look at those
dangerously
almonds.
good.
I'm eating too many
Damn.
cashews.
You can never have.
They're beyond belief.
You can
They're
never
the
have too
size
many.
of a baby's fist.
Yeah. Look at those almonds.
Yes,
though.
they are, Joe.
Chocolate and dark chocolate almonds.
So here's the deal. If you are in charge of the holiday gifting this year, listen up. Get creative and give the gift of dangerously good snacks from We Are Nuts. Here's how easy this is, by the way. You go to WeAreNutsMN.com and you can download the corporate gifting catalog. It's right there on the homepage. You pick your tins, whether you want the cashews like the Souchere household, the mixed nuts, the chocolate almonds, the hokey pokey popcorn, even the famous four. You send them your gift list. They're going to pack, personalize, and then ship each tin, even with custom enclosure cards featuring your logo and also your personal message. It's that easy. There's no endless forms. There's no box taping marathons. You just call or email or visit the site, and they're going to handle everything else. They take care of everything.
They don't take everything, they take care of it.
But here's the deal. I know it's tough to think about the holidays right now, but you got to place your order for Christmas by November 14th, which is actually coming up here. So once again, go to WeAreNutsMN.com or call them directly at 612-781-6596. We Are Nuts MN. Fresh, local, and unforgettable.
Here is Mr. John Heidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news is brought to you by North American Baking Company. Update to a story we had yesterday. A tentative agreement was not reached last night between Minneapolis Public Schools and the Minneapolis Federation of Educators. MFE says that because an agreement could not be reached after a 15-hour mediation session, a vote will take place in the next couple of days on whether to authorize a strike against Minneapolis Public Schools.
What takes 15 hours to say our number is X and the other side says we want Y?
I give up.
No, I don't know.
Well, you should
What
know.
takes-
You should know the answer.
What?
There's never enough money.
As leaders in Minnesota continue the fight to stop fraud, lawmakers are asking a government watchdog to look more closely at some specific programs that handle taxpayer money. The Office of the Legislative Auditor, or OLA, is an independent monitor. OLA identifies issues and even potential fraud in government programs. OLA does this by examining specific programs in public agencies. And every year, the office compiles a big list of areas to audit and presents that list to lawmakers on the Legislative Audit Commission. The commission then identifies a handful of program audits for OLA to conduct the following year. The working list right now was reviewed by our friends at 5 Eyewitness News. It shows more than half of the proposed topics for 2026 deal with services that are reimbursed by medical assistance, Minnesota's medical program. The safety net benefit is currently at the center of multiple fraud investigations. During a commission meeting earlier this month, the fight to stop fraud was on top of the mind. OLA auditors spent months on a report and then present their findings to the state agency in charge of the program. They will offer recommendations. Julie Randall is a legislative auditor, said we put them on notice. We've handed it to them. We've said, here it is. Here's what you need to do. You need to fix it.
Joe Thompson on the 5 Eyewitness News special, What the Fraud, said words to the effect that he believes there's fraud in every state agency.
That's comforting. Mm-hmm. Have you also seen, as a part of that, they released, I think this was yesterday, Hauser's extended interview with the governor? Have you guys watched this?
I have not. I'd like to.
I'm going to post this to the GL page today for people to see. This guy looked at Hauser with a straight face and said, man, got some organized crime issues in this state. Tim, you've been in charge this entire time.
Well, as long as you're on that topic, I meant to read this quote yesterday, Mr. Heidt. I'm intruding on your news.
That's fine.
Yesterday, as the Star Tribune had a big headline about fraud, welcome to the game. You're going to see more stories. You're going to see more people going to prison, Walz said while speaking at a festival organized by the news website MinPost. He defended his administration's responses to fraud. Well, there have been no responses. He defended his administration's responses to fraud and slammed GOP critics for not offering more solutions. The Republicans, they're the people who drive by and say, there's a fire, he said. They're not helping put it out. Tim.
Wow. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Tim, there's an old saying about how I wouldn't do anything to put a fire out if you were involved. But
Yeah.
Tim, this is your deal. The Republicans in the House certainly were ready to go with an Inspector General bill, and the Senate would not go along with it. And Tim, this is all on you. Every single bit of it is on you. And you really, really sound ridiculous with calling out Republicans driving by and not coming up with solutions. Tim, you're not up for this.
There's legit no extent to the gaslighting, is there?
No.
There's absolutely nothing that they won't gaslight.
Part of his 2025 deflection campaign.
I'm running against Trump.
So is Keith Ellison. He's running for Attorney General against Trump. Yeah.
So wait a minute. So if we hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah.
So Trump's running for governor of the state.
And the state of Illinois.
He's also running for AG for Minnesota?
Yes, he is.
And mayor of Minneapolis?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Yes.
He's going to be busy.
Yes.
The Minnesota Supreme Court has ruled an adult transgender athlete was discriminated against when she was banned from taking part in a women's powerlifting competition, but the SUPCO opened the door to additional legal challenges. Minnesota's High Court issued the opinion this morning. In doing so, the court affirmed that the state's Human Rights Act protects transgender people from discrimination based on sexual orientation. However, it didn't go as far as transgender individuals and their supporters would have liked. Instead of issuing a wide-ranging order that affirms protections for trans people, the court focused narrowly on the specific case and indicated that further issues will be decided when they're challenged. All of this comes after a 6-year legal battle started by J.C. Cooper, a transgender athlete who was denied entry in a USA powerlifting competition, a women's event. That happened in 2019 when Cooper was about 30 years old. A Ramsey County judge ruled in Cooper's favor in 2023. However, a year later, the Minnesota Court of Appeals agreed that discrimination based on gender identity violates the MHRA, but sent the case back to the district court to determine whether Cooper was discriminated against for being transgender. State Supreme Court had agreed to hear the case originally back in July of 2024.
Girls, all you young girls listening in this godforsaken state, keep training, develop your tennis game and volleyball, basketball, swimming, and then get ready to finish about 6th. And because this state is never going to acknowledge that Title IX was meant to protect women.
This reminds me of the case where the felon was going to go to prison, but he changed his gender so he could go to a woman's prison.
Yeah. That's where I'd prefer to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Seating was in unusually short supply at the Hermantown City Hall Monday night as councilors took up a rezoning request that could open the door for the construction of a data center in the rural southwest corner of the Duluth area community. Everything was filled to capacity. An engaged crowd exceeded 300 citizens. That spilled out into overflow spaces where members of the public were able to watch the meeting on a video feed. The meeting began at 6:30, wrapped up right around midnight. Both advocates and opponents of the proposed data center development shared their views before the council unanimously voted to support the requested zoning change of 220 acres from a classification of S1 suburban to business light manufacturing. Audience members responded to the council vote negatively, most standing and shouting shame following approval of the requested zoning change for the project, which is being pursued by an unnamed Fortune 50 company. Hermantown Community Development Director Eric Johnson recommended the new zoning. Now, why don't we take a quick break here and hear from the Rookster.
Thank you, Johnny. It is the Rook. Yes, I want to talk to you about your heating unit and making sure that it is awakened properly. Some people haven't even turned on their heat yet. Some have had it on since July, so that puppy's working overtime. By the way, I did want to recognize, you go to welterheating.com. There's a wealth of information. I also wanted to say that Some customers from Minneapolis said Welter did a great job installing my new forced air furnace and central air conditioning. It was a retrofit for a house with a gravity furnace, so it needed lots of ductwork and electrical. That was a 1927 house. Welter can work on all of those. They've got trained technicians. They've had, about 120 years of experience and 4 generations. So if you would like to call, and an employee will answer the phone during business hours, 612-825-6867. Or if you want to go new school, you can make an appointment online, and that's just at welterheating.com, right at their home base on their website. They've been doing it for a while. They have great people, and they're full of common sense. They'll give you a reasonable estimate, and usually they stick pretty close to it. They've worked at my house, and I love the fact that they are advertising on Garage Logic. So please patronize our advertisers. For heating, cooling, and air purification system, it's about 60 seconds. So that is welterheating.com. Air condition or heat your shelter with the fine folks from Ray N. Welter.
Sounds good. Talk to you.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
Let's talk about North American Banking Company with one simple philosophy: investing in your success since 1998, but also it's banking done differently. And you do get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Shoreview, Hastings, and also in Maple Grove. They offer all of the services as the other big national banks. It doesn't matter whether you're looking to buy a home, perhaps finance a new home renovation project, get that brand new wood boat, or that new car that you've been dreaming about. My friends at North American Banking Company can help you out and make anything possible. So your first step can be checking them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Friendly and wonderful customer service that are here to take care of you, your family, and your business. Locally owned and operated too, so don't take that for granted. Once again, nabankco.com to learn more. Visit them today. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Johnny?
Thank you, Chris. There are now no plans for President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin to meet in the immediate future. White House officials said yesterday, calling off a summit that was expected in Hungary in the coming weeks. The president announced that he and Putin last week planned to meet again and predicted it would occur within 2 weeks or so. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his counterpart, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, held a phone call on Monday, and now it is not expected the two will meet in person. Earlier on Tuesday, the Kremlin had downplayed a potential in-person meeting between Trump and Putin. The Kremlin said you can't postpone what was never scheduled. President Trump's pick to lead a federal watchdog agency withdrew from consideration last night after some offensive text messages were made public and GOP senators revolted. Paul Ingrassia, who was nominated to lead the Office of Special Counsel, had been scheduled to have his confirmation hearing this week. However, yesterday, Politico reported on a text chat that showed him saying that he has a Nazi streak and tossed in some racist themes to go along with that. After the text came to light, several Republican senators said they would not support his nomination. That included some of the most conservative and stalwart Trump allies in the Senate. As follows another political story from last week involving a thread among young Republican groups that continues to have fallout. Over the weekend, a Vermont state representative heavily represented in that thread that contained racist and sexual orientation slurs along with statements about rape and liking Hitler, resigned his position in the state government, and the New York Republican Party disbanded the young Republican group in that state because of the thread. President Trump is demanding that the Justice Department pay him about $230 million in compensation for the federal investigations into him, according to people familiar with the matter, who added that any settlement might ultimately be approved by senior department officials and the president. The situation has no parallel, obviously, in American history, as the president, a presidential candidate, says he was pursued by federal law enforcement and eventually won the election, taking over the very government that must now review the claims. The president submitted complaints through an administrative claim process that often is a precursor to lawsuits. The first claim, lodged in late 2023, seeks damages for a number of purported violations of his rights. The second complaint, filed in the summer of 2024, accuses the FBI of violating his privacy by searching Mar-a-Lago, his club and residence in Florida, looking for classified documents. Asked about the issue at the White House after an article was first published, the president said, "I was damaged very greatly, and any money I would get, I would give to charity."
I don't believe that, by the way.
What is the charity? Trump International for Children or something?
Kids listening to John Height's news, kids, when you grow up, you'll encounter the term conflict of interest. And if you're ever puzzled by what that means, here's what it means. When you're the president of the United States, you should not put into positions of authority the very people that then you are going to ask to pay him $230 million. Because what do you think their answer will be? They work for him. Kids, that's called conflict of interest.
And that
Just
has been
remember that.
Joe Souchere's lesson for today.
That's my lesson for today. Here's John Heidt.
The president actually
started before he was elected this cycle?
No.
The president actually alluded to that yesterday, saying, quote, "I'm the one that makes the decision, and that decision would have to go across my desk.
Yeah.
And it's awfully strange to make a decision where I'm paying myself."
Isn't that something?
What do you think he'll do?
Kids, that's called a conflict of interest.
I thought this had to do with something in like 2016 and then again in 2020.
Well, he has a lot of complaints.
2023 and 2024.
Kids, there's so many complaints, it's added up to $230 million. And he's now asking the very people he hired to pay him that amount. That's called a conflict of interest.
Man was taken into custody late Tuesday after driving his car into a security barrier outside the White House. The U.S. Secret Service said the man crashed into the security gate at 10:37 p.m. last night. The man was immediately arrested by officers from the Secret Service's Uniform Division. Investigators searched the car and deemed it to be safe. Authorities did not immediately provide any more information about the crash, the driver's identity, or why the man actually drove into the gate. A United Airlines flight bound for Los Angeles diverted to Salt Lake City last week after an object hit the plane's windshield at 36,000 feet.
Aliens.
Causing the windshield to crack and injuring the pilot. Amid the mystery of what could have hit the plane's windshield on Monday night, Windborne Systems, a long-duration smart weather balloon company, released a statement saying the object that hit the windshield might have been a weather balloon from that company.
Chinese? Is it a Chinese weather balloon?
Don't you think the pilots would have recognized something as big as a weather balloon?
Yes.
Company said it's working with FAA and the NTSB on the investigation.
All right, let me ask a very dumb question. If this thing was at 36,000 feet, I don't know if you guys know this, planes travel very fast.
Really?
Boom.
Yeah.
If this thing cracked the windshield and injured the pilot, how did he not die?
Apparently, here
we go.
What have you been briefed on?
Some resistance in the glass apparently saved him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joe, did you see the other day? Remember our problem with all the drones that were in the sky in New Jersey?
Yes, I see. We're admitting to that now.
A company said, that they had released all these drones into the sky. And
why wouldn't they have told us that back then? And
yeah, that's what I was wondering. Why
saved idiots like me from dreaming up conspiracy
Does that
theories?
mean it's a lie? That's what they're admitting to.
Yeah.
You devoted about 2 weeks every day.
Oh, I was on that like white on rice.
Yeah. We were getting hate mail.
Can you say that, or is that insensitive?
No, I think that's okay. It's not racist.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's all right. Yeah.
I think white rice is pissed off.
Well, I didn't say wild rice. So.
Which is better, by the way.
Oh, I
way
love
better
wild rice.
way better than white rice.
I'd fight you on that one.
I do not eat white rice. I like brown rice.
I'm in a.
What a weird segment this is.
I think wild rice is fantastic.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
You like wild rice soup, Joey?
They're growing
Chicken
all
or
over
turkey?
in our potholes.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it's opened a preliminary investigation into about 2,000 Waymo self-driving vehicles after reports that the company's robo-taxis may have failed to follow traffic safety laws around a stopped school bus. The probe of the Alphabet unit is the latest scrutiny of self-driving systems by regulators reviewing how driverless technologies interact with pedestrians, cyclists, and other road users. NHTSA opened the investigation after a recent media report aired video of an incident in Georgia in which a Waymo did not remain stationary when approaching a school bus with its red lights flashing and its stop arm deployed. The report said the Waymo vehicle initially stopped, then just maneuvered around the bus, passing the extended stop arm while students were getting off the bus.
That's a violation.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen, now bear with me here, have you guys seen the viral video that circulated? Because the Teslas have the human sensory device on their screen of a Tesla driving through a cemetery, and it was picking up bodies that were in the underground. It's freaky as all get out.
Wait.
What do you mean?
What?
I don't
Turned
get
or
So
stopped to dig them up or what?
They're in concrete vaults.
But you can see.
Have you driven through a cemetery?
Probably AI.
You haven't driven through a cemetery? It doesn't happen?
I've never went through that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I don't drive a bus.
But if you did,
it detects cars
And people.
And people.
Can we continue?
Huh?
We was talking about Waymo.
Oh, he's got a Tesla.
Yeah.
For keeps? For good?
I mean, for
Or are
a
you
while.
borrowing it?
No, it's our car.
Oh, that's
now.
terrible. God almighty.
Wait a
If I
minute,
would have
You
known
say
that,
that. You say
Wait a
that,
minute.
but you haven't
He's
driven
fired.
one.
He's fired.
I don't think you should be sitting there.
Wait.
It's a nice ride.
What are we learning about Gabe?
He has a Tesla.
We have
Gabe?
a Model Y.
Gabe,
I don't know
Tesla
what that
Model
means.
time to go home, Gabe.
Yeah,
You know?
I can't believe he's here.
You know what? We'll see you come
And a
Christmas.
pickup truck, okay?
Kenny, next
And a
time you're
pickup
down
truck.
here, I'll let you get behind the wheel, and then you'll never talk bad about him again.
Is the acceleration everything they say it is?
And more.
That's what I want to experience that.
I will say this: when we went to go get pumpkins this weekend, Gabe drove, and when we got back onto
God.
36, it went 0 to 60, and you
Joe.
felt like you were in an airplane.
Joe, we got to experience that. I have to know what that feels like.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
go
Since
go
we're on
test
this-
drive one or
I'm
something.
sure it's wonderful.
Since we're on the subject
For
of Gabe,
20 minutes, and then you got to charge it and visit a library for 4 hours.
have you
over
emulated
300 miles.
Have you emulated your father, where you only fill up your tank halfway because there's a massive hole in the gas tank?
I unfortunately did not get that trait.
Okay, good.
Maybe in a couple years I'll go that way, but right now, no.
He skipped.
Just wait till you have 16 kids.
You know, for you people wondering why we occasionally mention we're talking to someone named Gabe, it's someone working on the show.
Yes.
He's not just sitting in here. He's doing things.
And GLers, I want you to know I quizzed him before the show. He thinks about the Roman Empire on a daily basis, so he's okay. He's a good guy.
It was either a year or two where he watched some, what was it, a documentary on the
Man,
early
I was
Romans?
done with explaining this.
It
Do you
was-
like that aqueduct
I just
system?
thought it was complete
Yeah.
nerd.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
Wow. Yikes. Okay.
Got her.
Home run, Joe Susher.
It's still standing in many places.
It's working out for him.
Yeah, it worked out all right. You ever been in the Coliseum? It's virtually the model for every Big Ten stadium that was built in the 20s and 30s.
Joey, have you ever seen a gladiator naked?
Yeah.
I've seen them
You
all.
like gladiator movies?
I don't, actually. No. I think John's done, isn't he?
I might as well.
Kinda
Might as well.
sounds like it, doesn't
Might as
it?
well be. Want to get your garage door taken care of.
I do.
Well, you've heard that nasty wind blowing now for 2 days. That does not bode well. That means the cold weather's blowing in, and you want to take care of your garage door with Precision Door. If you need a new door, Precision Door sends out a designer. You get the consult free. They've got models for every budget, and right now GLers get $100 off a single door, $200 off a double door. If you like your current door, but she's acting up, she's starting to protest,
Yeah.
make a little racket. They've got the noisy door tune-up special for $149. That's usually a $290 value. Get ready for this cooler weather ahead. Annual maintenance reduces future wear and breakdown of your doors, and you don't want to have to. They'll show up quick, but you don't want to call Precision Door in the dead of January. Get her done now. Call Precision Door at 612-263.
Yeah. I don't know how you can read that copy.
6985. I don't even know what the hell's going on right now.
I don't either.
Dr. Stephen Brule.
Yeah.
Or call
What's wrong with your broat?
Call Precision Door. That's one word. PrecisionDoorMN.com. Set up a new door consultation or book a noisy door special with Precision Door.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
There is an outfit in Minneapolis. I've referenced them frequently. They're a group called All of Minneapolis, and I think they'd fall under the heading of conventional DFLers. They're not the DSA. And they've got some interesting information. There's a gal running for Chugtai's seat. That's Ward 10, which is uptown, Lake Calhoun, Whittier neighborhoods. And a woman named Lydia Millard is running, and apparently is running a strong campaign against Chugtai.
Got it.
And all of Minneapolis says, we can't overstate this. Lydia is an incredible leader, and her vision for uptown and the rest of our city is needed. After 6 years of increasing crime, closure of businesses, and a general exodus from the area, Ward 10 desperately needs new leadership. Lydia Millard delivers that. She has a mix of public and business leadership experience. She's already a leader in the city, heading the Stevens Square Community Organization, and is the chair of the Partnership and Property Commercial Land Trust. Her private sector experience, first as a Teamster employed by UPS and now working in operations for Target, would be invaluable and is unfortunately rare on the current council. Unlike her opponent, whose experience is limited to far-left political activism, that's not an exaggeration. That's all the experience Chugtai has. Far-left extremist activism. Yeah. Lydia's broad experience is exactly what Ward 10 needs to get back on track. All right. I couldn't be happier if somebody like that could win. I don't even live in Minneapolis. Her opponent, Chugtai, is a strong competitor for one of the city council's most offensive members. Ooh. I thought it'd be Robin Wansley, but maybe it's Chugtai. When Minneapolis police officer Jamal Mitchell was ambushed and killed in her ward, that was last summer, remember?
Yep.
She said nothing about him or even mentioned that a police officer was murdered in cold blood. She only apologized to those residents who may have been triggered by the presence of police responding to the killing.
I remember that.
I do too. But never mentioned the ultimate sacrifice made by Mitchell. You know, that was a case where Mitchell, he went where angels fear to tread. He went right to he saw a guy down and wounded. There's fighting, there's shooting going on in the apartment behind. He's squirming his way there from car to car. He gets to the fellow who's down. The fellow who's down was the guy who shot him. Mm-hmm. And this, I can't really say what I would like to call her, but this Chugtai council person never mentioned Mitchell.
There's a body cam footage with a microphone that I've seen, and once you see it, oh boy. I mean, it was cold-blooded, premeditated, straight up murder. The guy was faking being injured.
I always look at what you send me, all of Minneapolis, and boy, Ward 10 residents, you've got a real chance here to get rid of this Chugtai by voting for Lydia Millard. So I just thought I'd add that. And Karen Birkland, if you're listening, you have promised me that you'd come on the air. I'll keep trying. I don't know why all of Minneapolis would not want to.
13 days away, Joe. 13 days away. The most important election in the history of Minneapolis.
It really is. Minnesota will either survive, Minneapolis will either survive, or it will continue to decay.
It's like Royce's lottery odds. You're either going to win or you're not.
You got a 50-50 shot.
Meanwhile, life out here on the edge of the prairie is absolutely wonderful.
And life out there on the edge of the prairie would be significantly affected with the decline of Minneapolis.
Unfortunately, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a proposal to all the farmers out there. Can we choreograph so that each day when I drive home, I can see a different field being worked on so I can slow down to 45 miles an hour on the highway? That'd be
Guy
great.
pulled into the field next to my house as I was sitting in my living room yesterday and started turning it over and then called me. And we had a 20-minute conversation while he was going back and forth out in the field, and then parked that $300,000 tractor at the end of my driveway overnight. Oh, God, I'm
Was
so
the
envious.
wind howling up where you were?
Oof,
I bet he was kicking up some dust, huh?
Yeah.
Only because they come to us all the way from Barcelona, Spain, where they are now, the traveling Lymans at worldwidewaftage.com. We didn't do much on this day, but one of them's terribly significant.
October 22nd.
1836. General James Dixon and a group of filibusters arrived at Fond du Lac. They planned to form an army of Metis people in the Red River area, march to California and capture California from Mexico, and establish a kingdom ruled by Dixon. The group traveled as far as Pembina. Is it Pembina?
Pembina.
Yes. Pembina.
I
No,
always
it's Pembina.
screw it up. It's Pembina. The group traveled as far as Pembina before broken up by employees of the Hudson's Bay Company.
It sounds like Garage Logic before Garage Logic was cool.
We're going to have our own kingdom. And on this day,
October 22.
which had such an impact on this state, this was the day Jacob Wetterling was reported missing.
Oh, man. Patty had a post today
I
on
will
Facebook.
never forget that weekend.
I drove there that morning. On this morning in 1989, I went there. Now, that had its impact because just a normal 11-year-old kid riding his bike with his buddies in a supposedly bucolic area on a beautiful fall night.
Yeah.
You know, Halloween in the air, a little festive. And it punched all the buttons for statewide concern.
It was an attack on innocence.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And of course, Patty and her husband, Jerry, got deeply involved in establishing the foundation, drawing national attention to missing kids. And of course, we learned that 27 years later, in September of 2016, Daniel Heinrich of Annandale, my God, I was just in Annandale, confessed to abducting, sexually assaulting, and murdering Wetterling. So it was on this day, and it was it rattled people.
Oh, I'll say
it rattled people.
Still does.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that they spent all that time searching for him. And how far away was he from?
Oh, not far.
Not far.
I don't
More
think
than 30 minutes.
I don't think they thought that was in vain. They just they needed to look, and they just kept looking. So, and then we have sports disappointment on this day too.
We always do.
October 22nd.
Well, 1967. The Muskies played their first game. Would that have been the ABA? They lost to the Kentucky Colonels.
Oh, yep. Then it would have been
104-96. And you can check me on this, but I think the owners of the defunct Kentucky Colonels are those two brothers who pulled off some magic act.
Oh, that kept getting paid.
Continue to be paid by the NBA annually, millions of dollars.
One of Kenny's favorite subjects is us discussing athletes' salaries on this show. Mm-hmm. Did you see?
See, I think Ohtani should have 3 home runs every night.
Every game.
For what he's paid.
Kevin Durant, ladies and gentlemen, just signed a 2-year, $90 million extension.
Yeah, he's about 110.
Which will put his career earnings at $591 million.
How much does he have left?
How does that affect you putting food on your family?
It doesn't. I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely
But he's
amazing.
what, mid to late 30s?
37, 38, something like that.
What religion does he practice? Who does he vote for? Those are the three things you should never ask anybody how much they make.
That's true.
What church they go to. Hey, Joe, before you go,
I wasn't even done with
it kind of sounds
sports
and
disappointment history.
Seems like you are done.
On this day,
It's October 22.
in 2001, the first report surfaced of contraction officially happening before the start of the 2002 season.
Yeah, don't worry, that Pohlad family's going to turn it around, though. That's great.
Yeah, well, they saved the team.
Hey, what is this about Tory saying no?
To the managerial job?
I didn't know that.
I haven't
Is
heard
that true?
Was he offered the job?
I don't know if he's interviewed for it or not. I can't answer that.
I thought I saw a blurb on from Phil or Declan or Judd or somebody.
He was in the running for the Angels job, but they hired Kurt Suzuki.
You know,
Also a former Twin.
Tory's not crusty enough.
Oh.
No, he's crusty, but okay, he's not old enough to be crusty.
He'll get his butt thrown out of a game for sure. For
No, I
arguing
know,
an
but
umpire.
you need an old guy who's got emphysema and just he waddles out to the pitcher's mound.
You want Mock. That's what you want.
Or Earl Weaver.
Right.
I think those days are over.
Yeah, I
Joe.
think they are too. Joe.
Kenny, you are correct. Twins legend Torrey Hunter has reportedly removed his name from the list of potential candidates for the team's manager's position. According to our very own Score North's Declan Goff, Hunter had a conversation with Twins brass, told the Twins he was not interested.
You know
in
why?
managing the
They
Twins.
weren't going to pay him enough. I guarantee that's why he withdrew his name.
Wouldn't it be his history with the Pohlads that would be more
You'd
of
think.
a factor?
Yeah, I don't know.
He kind of knows.
I don't know, but he doesn't fit my bill. He's too fit. He's too young. He's too.
He smiles from time to time.
He's too happy. He's
too happy.
He's just not a grump. You got to get a grump.
You must really hate the Angels hire of Kurt Suzuki then.
Oh, he's terribly young and happy, and I don't like that at all.
Okay, so who are the angry, crabby, old, surly managers in the game today?
Well, Milwaukee has one.
Yeah, he is. He's a crusty old Pat. What the hell is his last name?
I read a great interview with him. You know what I liked immediately? He loves R&B and soul, and his favorite artist ever is Bruce Springsteen. So there you go.
Boy, now I don't like him.
Listens to
communist?
him. Listens to him every
He
day.
loves government music, huh?
Every day he listens to him.
He loves that government.
You want Bochy. That's who you
jammed
want.
with broken heroes.
After doing my research, I did find that the greatest deal ever was Ozzie and Daniel Silna. Those are the guys that in '76 they were.
Did they own the Kentucky team?
They were owners of the Spirit of St. Louis. Offered $3 million to buy out their franchise. They said no. Instead, they negotiated a 1/7 share of the NBA's broadcast revenue
every year.
Over the next 38 years, the Silnas made over $300 million from the deal. In 2014, the NBA bought out the deal for an additional $500 million. By that time, the deal was on track to pay the brothers nearly $1 billion annually due to the NBA's popularity.
Holy cow!
Well, it couldn't have been the brothers. They had to have been long past.
Well, whatever their estate was.
Their estate.
Yeah. So they said
That's brilliant.
they took a chance.
They said, here's $3 million.
Because they said, yeah, should we take the $3 million they're offering to get rid of a team?
What'd they get over? You're nuts.
They got over the year nuts hump, and they said, let's bet on the TV revenue.
TV's going to be up and
Because
coming.
$3 million in 76 is a lot of cash.
And the NBA's laughing. Yeah, we'll give you a 1/7, no problem.
This morning, I had enough money in my pocket to buy 1 bar of soap.
And then you ate it because that was for breakfast.
You're not going to the gasoline station anymore to get the soap out of the...
That's where it was. Oh, I don't steal soap, Joe.
Okay.
Matthew.
Kenny's counting change so we
that's
can buy some Wonder Bread for ketchup sandwiches.
Say, Jay Coles is really, really working out on the Krabby Coffee Shop last week. Our very first guest was Patrick Royce, so we could discuss the origin of the Krabby Coffee Shop and how Joe Souchere was not involved at all.
I'm virtually a co-founder.
And Pat told some fun old stories. Today we're talking to retired Minneapolis Police Detective Sergeant Ken Tidgwell. He's the former head of the motorcycle gang unit here in Minneapolis, and I'm going to be mostly silent and respectful during this show. And it sounds like next week we're going to talk to those guys that rode their side-by-sides all the way up to Copper Harbor.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
So we're all over the map with guests on the Krabby Show.
All right.
And that'll be went out later today, Chris, or tonight?
Yeah, it gets released on the Krabby Coffee Shop channel basically 20 minutes after you guys are done, but on the Garage Logic channel at 6 p.m.
Do me a favor and ask Tidge if he liked it when I used to steal his lunch money at Cretin High School.
You know him?
Yes.
So his name is Tidgewell.
Yes. He was a good kid. I'm just teasing.
How do you like that, Rook? He's retired.
Yeah, it's not working out for me. It's not really working.
Do you want to? I can cut half that bar of soap up and send it to you. If you
I don't even have enough for a half.
Yeah, Kentucky Colonel story. I can add one more tidbit.
They were the St. Louis team, John.
Maybe you mentioned this, Rook, but the other owner who took the $3 million was John Y. Brown, who went on to become governor of Kentucky.
So he had the Kentucky team.
He was one of the three. There was the two brothers and him.
Yeah.
They were all offered $3 million. He took the $3 million, and he was done then.
Okay.
And,
but I thought the two brothers were paid to get rid of the St. Louis team.
Oh, is that
yes.
what it worked?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he could have taken the same deal, according to what I just read, John Y. Brown, but he decided just to take the $3 million cash, and then he became governor of Kentucky in 1979.
Yes, he did. Wasn't he married to a woman who was part of the NFL pregame show?
Brown married 3 times. Listen to you. The second time, the former Miss America, Phyllis George.
Phyllis George. Yeah.
Oh.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Jimmy the Greek.
Phyllis George was a Miss America?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In her time, before electricity, she was pretty good.
Yeah, she was
Last time
very
I saw
pretty.
a mouth like that, it had a hook in
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You must have been something before electricity. What a line. Before electricity, you must have been
Chris,
something.
I have one name for you.
Yes,
Mrs. Howell.
Okay.
Oh, he's so hung up on Mrs.
No, what about Barbara Stanwyck?
Definitely was a third option
No, I
on
got
that
one
island.
for you, Kenny. Aunt B.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Need to
That's
tell
what I'm
Kenny
talking
twice.
about.
The Mayberry Madam.
That's right. Aunt B was a firecracker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Sheila.
Anyway. Got her.
Do us a favor and hit subscribe on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. Yeah, that's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and you can watch the show each and every single day starting right at noon. You can also see full segments. There's video shorts, there's behind-the-scenes footage, there's a ton of
You got a lot of
content.
stuff going on there.
And it's all on Garage Logic's YouTube channel. You can also search for us on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And boy, oh boy. Yeah.
You got her.
You need to subscribe to the Garage Logic Town Council because you have got paid today pregame for sure.
Camelot.
And
Camelot.
you can sign up for the Daily Logician. That email comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more. Sign up today at garagelogic.com. It is time once again that we check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh. And he is there for you for that free, yes, I use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice. And he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And Josh, boy, a lot to cover today because DraftKings is in the news. Netflix continues to dominate in the streaming world. And you know what? Let me ask you this. Why speculate when you can just go with GE Verona right now?
Hi, How do you like that? You know, most of the time, Chris, I talk about companies involved in the internet, leisure, China-related businesses, and real assets. But we'll start with GE Verona. General Electric several years ago decided to split into three parts. Its stock was lagging, not much there. And General Electric said, you know what, we've got three distinct businesses. We have our aerospace business, which provides jet engines and help in going outside or into the stratosphere and beyond. We have our healthcare business, which helps see inside bodies with our machines. And then we have our power business for turbine engines for everything from railroad to wind turbines to gas-powered turbines. Yesterday, the aerospace business did better than expected. Today, the power business, GE Verona, also did better than expected as gas turbine sales accelerated. Wind turbines, on the other hand, decelerated, but General Electric said they're going to be into nuclear power within the next several years. Why speculate on a company that has little money and little prospects when you can get a solid old industrial company with proven worth? That's General Electric Verona. Then we have Netflix. I'm not going to say everybody loves to hate Netflix, but they are the leader in streaming. They continue to dominate in streaming. They have plenty of money to allow them to buy content from all of the content creators, and they've got this advertising business which continues to grow, and they're now going into live entertainment and particularly sport. Of course, so is Apple and Amazon going into live sports, which we've covered before. Netflix stock sold off on a tax issue, but they are not going away, and they are still, at least in my mind, a leader in the media space. Right now, another media name, Warner Brothers Discovery, which on one hand is being courted as a buyout candidate by Paramount Skydance, and Warner Brothers Discovery has turned down 3 offers already from Paramount Skydance that would total up to $24 a share. Warner Brothers shares are currently at $20.50, and there has been speculation around the name for a little bit of time. In the meantime, there is speculation that Netflix could be a bidder, as could Comcast, and in the meantime, should they not get a bid, or even if they do get a bid, Warner Brothers Discovery is looking at splitting into 2 parts, their network division and a streaming division. But Netflix, again, their name is in the light in terms of streaming. And lastly, because we like sports, and I know, Chris, you and the other guys at Garage Logic are into, we'll say, fantasy sports and making bets on sports.
Yep.
DraftKings, which is one of the leaders, along with FanDuel, which is owned by Flutter. DraftKings has entered the prediction market, which had been taking a little share for FanDuel and DraftKings. DraftKings is planning on buying Railbird, which is big in the prediction market. This will give, well, I'll say this is both an offensive and a defensive move on the part of DraftKings. Could help them grow their business and expand their marketplace.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation with zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Look forward to it. Thanks.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.